Hello, Jonathan Bowman-Perks. Welcome back to the French Alps and Morzine, and for my favourite time of the week, talking with you and sharing tips and techniques about leadership in business and in life. Here with the Goldsmiths Company, and today is a special day. It's our race day, and we're going to be racing in teams of 4 for 3 hours on some of the longest and fastest slopes that we can find to get the furthest distance. The team with the furthest distance wins. And there are members of livery companies from a whole range of different backgrounds, and about 300 people on the slopes today. And it was interesting as I go out in this rather wild coloured suit which belongs to my friend Russ, a sort of retro 1980s skiing racing suit. You can't lose me, so if I'm sort of lost in a pile of snowdrift having gone off piste, they'll find me. But it's that thing about worrying about what other people think about you, what we call relative deprivation. And if you're worried what people think about you, you'll be surprised how little they do. They're not thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves, and they're very concerned about their lack of skiing, or when was the last time they were out, even though they're very good skiers, and will anybody notice? And they get quite wrapped up in how they look and how they seem. Lovely bunch of people that I'm skiing with. And they're very competent. They're far more capable than me. But you just got to let that go and do your best and focus on your skiing, rather than when there's a group of, in our case, 22 of us skiing down a slope, that you don't worry about what others are doing. You've got to watch your moves. It's a bit like life, really. Stop worrying about the other people, as long as you're a team player and aren't selfish, but actually focus on doing a good job yourself. Then the other thing is really beginner's mind and a fixed mindset or growth mindset. Fixed mindset, you're very stuck, you're not going to change. Growth mindset, you're always willing to learn and to accept that you don't know, and that you need to unlearn things before you learn things, as I talked about in the last video. And I think about Leigh, who's now in day 4 of skiing. She's never skied before, and when she first looked at the very beginner slope, she went, goodness, I'm never going to get down that. And then by the end of day 1 she had, and then she was on to further and further more difficult slopes and doing techniques and things that she never imagined she could do. And it's very much the same for myself. As I was taking these lessons too, I thought, I'm really out of shape, and bit by bit gained confidence. And I think this is like us in life and a new job that you take on, and when you're very anxious about how you're going to perform, it's almost this performance anxiety that we have, which can be quite crippling. And we have this freeze, flight or fight response to fear. And the first thing is that we freeze, just literally, and on skiing you see people freeze. At the top of a slope they cannot move, they're in a snowplow and they just cannot get down the slope, and they have to be coaxed and talked into it. And then there's the flight, you actually want to leave, you don't want to be where you are at, or the fight, you get quite grumpy or aggressive, or in some cases you may end up fighting with people. So just think about that in the jobs that you've got now. Are you living what I call above the 45? And if you draw a graph of your challenges versus your capability, and the line at 45 is where your abilities, your capabilities match the challenges you face in life. If you're below the 45, you're not really stretched at all. Your job is not too difficult, and it's very easy. You might even get a bit bored. On the 45, you're well matched, but actually the place to be is above the 45. And above the 45 is the place where your abilities are being stretched by the challenges you have. You've never done this before. However, although that's a place of fear and failure and setbacks and disappointments, maybe even falling over or having a bad tumble in skiing, that is the place of the greatest growth. So, my question to you, are you living above the 45? A rather sad skier behind us, not very happy, is she? Are you living above the 45? Are you less worried about what others think about you? So not worrying about relative deprivation. And are you connecting with the team that you're with and working together? Because we're going to have to work together as a team of 4 this afternoon, because it's the time of all of us. And it reminds me back to my army days. It's when the last person in your team crosses the line, not the gladiator at the front who forgets everybody else. And that's very much like in business. You can't just do it on your own. You have to take the whole team with you. And sometimes it's your time is that of your slowest member. So hopefully today, while I might be the slowest member of a very high caliber team, I intend to pull my weight, stick with the team, and hopefully get down safely. I'll let you know all about it later. Bye for now.